Welcome, La Center Church. We're glad that you've tuned in to our La Center Church today, this edition, which is the last week of June. Isn't that amazing? 6 months has almost gone by since we started 2020.
That's pretty insane. I can't believe that the year is halfway done, even though it just feels like it began.
Yeah.
And with that said, I'm guessing there's been quite a few years that have gone by quicker than you can imagine, at least when it comes to your marriage, 41 years.
Yes, we celebrated 41 years on Tuesday, and I just give credence to Carol and because she put up with me all those 41 years. That's pretty impressive.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So that is part. We always tease each other about that. You know, we say we each put up with one another, and there's truth on that. In a marriage, you have to do that.
Well, my wife certainly puts up with me, and so I don't have quite. I mean, you add another 0 on how many more years you've been married compared to me, but still, she has to put up with me. So
Well, that brings us back to our theme from Sunday. Especially as think about Joy and you, is going through that valley of suffering. So, maybe Joy has been suffering in that whole thing. I don't know. I'm just teasing.
Oh, well, when it comes to right now with the baby, yeah, she's like, I love him. He's so stinking cute, but I just want sleep.
Yes.
So she's in a little bit of a valley right now, a valley of sleeplessness, it's a type of valley of suffering, which is what we addressed this Sunday in terms of what a lot of times people go through. And I think we should understand this valley and the value of what it means scripturally and the importance of this valley in terms of where it can take us.
So one of the things that we saw is Jesus entered this valley of suffering on our behalf. And so he suffered for us. He gave his life for us. He paid the price for our sin. He was the substitute for our own personal suffering in that sense.
And that's what kind of differentiates Christ compared to a lot of times when we go in. We don't like to willingly go in there. However, sometimes when we want to follow Christ, we have to enter into these valleys out of a type of substitution of someone else. Like my wife is substituting her sleep for the needs of the baby. So Christ, in a greater degree, substituted himself to enter this valley for us.
Well, coming up, we want to talk about a variety of things that are happening in our church and in our community and in our state. And so to begin with, we want to kind of interact over the garage sale that's coming up. And we really appreciate everyone that has brought items in. We've already filled up 2 rooms, and we're going to be starting on kind of a corner of the fellowship hall pretty soon for a place to store these things. And so keep cleaning out your closets and your garage and your storage rooms or whatever you have, and bring those items down, and we will sell them. And what's the value of that for us? Why are we doing this?
Well, one of the great values that what this is actually going for, the money that is going to be used for this is going to the preschool and is specifically to build a new play structure in the back part of our lot. And it's going to be a really nice play structure. So if you would bring stuff down, because it's going to be helping the local kids here, especially with this fantastic preschool program that we have.
Yeah, we got some initial kind of pictures of playground structures, and we were kind of overwhelmed by the cost.
Oh my goodness, it was ridiculous.
There was like one that was $30,000, one that was $50,000. We're not going to spend $30,000 or $50,000,
No.
but we are intending to spend around $10,000. The preschool themselves have raised up about 8 or 9 of that already.
Wow.
So we are looking forward to this kind of boosting that process along a little bit. And so we do need your help. Besides bringing items in, we need help in sorting things, especially that week right prior to the yard sale. And so kind of put that on your agenda that, come on down, give some time and help kind of sort things out and lay things out on tables, and so we can just take them outside when it's time.
Another value when it comes to the garage sale is what it does for the community. Right now, a lot of people are in angst because they have they're not able to connect with anyone because of this whole coronavirus. Well, coming together as a community, as a garage sale, is a fantastic way for you to be able to reach out to someone that might not have actually been talking to anyone for the last 2.5, 3 months. So this is a great resource for us as a church to reach into our community with love.
Usually in the summertime, we do our vacation Bible school, and we have 100 kids plus all their parents coming, And it's just a wonderful time to make contact with our community. We do that with our days. We go and serve down there. We just a variety of ways that we do this. But this year, all of that has gone away. The garage sale is the one thing that's still here, that we can take those steps to build relationships with our community and express God's love in practical ways. So we encourage your involvement. What else is happening?
So another thing is I've been trying to get started a young adults program since the beginning of summer, but the weatherman is constantly predicting rain on Saturday, and so it's kind of dampened a lot of the activities I've been wanting to do, but at least now the weather looks clear. And so we're going to be going hiking this Saturday. Now, I'm still working with some of the people that are trying to formulate this group, and I'm working on their schedules to predict when we're going to do it. So if you want to get involved with this young adults group as we go hiking this weekend, please give me a call, and I will be able to tell you when it's at and give you all the information. I'm going to soon create a Facebook page for this young adults group so that we can bounce ideas off of each other when it comes to that.
So you probably are aware of the kind of the new statement that our government has given regarding this virus and what they're expecting of us. I want to say one of the things that's been frustrating for me, and I think for our church, this whole process is every time we turn around, something changes and it's new and there's no consistency. I mean, that's frustrating. And this is another example of that. And so we want to kind of address that a little bit. The way we're approaching it as a church is we want to balance really about three things here. One is there is a risk out there. This virus is highly contagious. We acknowledge that, and we all assume risk coming to church. I mean, that's just, you assume a risk when you go to the grocery store, or you go shopping, or you go to a restaurant. You're assuming some risk. Although we think that risk is really, really minor. But there's risk out there. What else do we want to balance in that, Daniel?
Well, we want to balance when it comes to the idea of taking risk and responsibility, but also coming together as a fellowship, because we know that we should do that in some regards.
Yes.
And so that's probably another thing that we're trying to balance out. What are the other two?
So we have risk and we have responsibility. You kind of mentioned that we are individually responsible for our own protection and how we're responding to these interactions. So we take that responsibility ourselves. We're not assuming that for anyone else.
We are not assuming responsibility when it comes to church. You're taking that on, but at the same time, we want to provide the necessary means. So we have hand sanitizer, we provide masks for those that ask. So we will help you along with that process, but the responsibility for your safety it falls on you inevitably, right?
Yes, and then the third thing that we want to kind of keep in terms of big perspective here is this is a no shame zone. If we can make that really clear, that we are not going to shame anyone for either side of this discussion. For those that feel more comfortable wearing masks, there's no shame in wearing masks. If those that go, I'm not going to wear a mask when I come to church and worship the Lord, there's going to be no shame in that. We're not going to send you away at the door. You come and you are welcome here as you are.
Absolutely.
So that's just kind of the big perspective, and we want to keep that consistent. There will be no changes. Every time there's a change from the government, we're going to continue to encourage risk, responsibility, and no shame. So lastly, as we're approaching Sunday, we have kind of a new kind of direction as we're looking at our theme from death to life. And this Sunday, we're going to be talking about the ladder of success. And we've talked about a lot of that in Ecclesiastes and how Solomon pursued wealth, he pursued wisdom, he pursued knowledge, he pursued building big houses and gardens and having servants and amassing all kinds of things. I mean, he climbed that ladder of success, and he said that it was vanity. We're going to look at a man in the New Testament that had all the right parents. He had the right parents, the right lineage, the right tribe, the right everything. He went to the right schools. He had the right connections. I mean, all of that. He had privilege, as we would call it in our society. And how did he evaluate that when it all came down to, what's important in life.
Absolutely. So once again, I'm really excited about this new series. I think it's, again, extraordinarily applicable to life in general. So as we are looking at next week in the Ladder of Success, let's just remind each other that Christ is our center, because this is a transformable time period, and we need to focus on the things that truly matter, which is Jesus and his gospel.
Well, very good. Well, thank you for tuning in today, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday.